you can scan any file into Visual Archive. It's just those files without barcodes will have to be manually indexed. So to manually scan something into Visual Archive, we go to Scan and then Scan Manual File. And it opens up our manual filing window. And you have an option here for separation type. If you're just going to scan everything into a single document, then you choose this one. That means if you put 1 page or 10 pages in the document feeder, it's going to scan it all as one single document. If you choose the second option, it says multiple n-page documents. Well, if you have, let's say, 10 one-page documents, you could choose this option right here, and then it would actually create 10 separate files. Or if they're 2-page documents, you could change this pages to a 2, and then it would create 5 2-page files. Or if you have a blank page separating in each document, you can do that also and choose this option here. And then so whenever a blank page is detected, it'll start a new document. Now in this case, I'm just going to choose single document. Now document name is another option you have here. Just by default, it says document, but you can do something a little more descriptive if you'd like. And that way, when you actually have to file and index the document, it'll be a little bit easier to figure out what kind of document it is. And what I'm going to show you here is bring in my scanner cam. The first document I'm going to scan is going to be this purchase order form. So what I'm going to do is place it into my document feeder, into my scanner. And I'm going to just call this document. I'm going to give it a document name of PO. And I'm going to press scan. As you can see, the document has scanned, and then it shows the most recent scan in the window, and then we get a message saying the scanning is complete. And one other option, or one other document I'm going to scan is going to be this chart. So I'm going to just place this in here, and I'm going to change this name to chart, and I'm going to press scan. And our chart has been scanned in. So now I'm going to press close. And now in this box on the upper left, we see our 2 PDF files that we just scanned in. We have chart.pdf and po.pdf. Let's do the PO first. And I'm going to actually double click it. And this way it will open up. And I'm going to zoom this out just a little bit, but here we have a visual of what the document actually looks like. And I see our purchase order number is 2007-0503-1. I'm going to go back to our Visual Archive window, and document type here is going to be purchase order. The document date in this case is April 25th, 2007. So I'm going to put 4/25/2007 in document date. Now if you leave document date blank, it will just use today's date as the document date. Notes, if you have any special notes you want to put in here, you can do that. Now the only other thing is I want to attach some index information such as the customer, which is A&F Custom Manufacturing. So I'm going to just start typing A, and we got A&F Custom Manufacturing here. Oops, I chose the wrong one. A&F Custom Manufacturing. And let's also put the PO number on there. And we don't have purchase order. Oh wait, we do have purchase order number right here, 2007-0503-1 was the PO number. So I'm done with this. I'm going to close that now. And coming back to the Visual Archive manual filing window, one other thing I'd like to point out is the fact that you can actually right-click and choose Index List, and here you get a list of all the columns that are available that you can index by. So if you don't like the index values that are on the list here, you can choose other columns also. But we have all the information we need right here, so I'm just going to press File. And now that document has been filed away. Next, I'd like to do the chart. So I'm going to select Chart here, and I'm going to right-click this index values, and I'm going to say Clear Index, because we're going to be putting different values in here this time. The index values don't clear automatically because in case you have multiple documents that you're going to be filing with those same index values, you can just keep pressing File repeatedly with those different documents. But in this case, this chart is totally different, so I cleared that one out, and the document type here is going to be Chart. So I'm going to go up to Chart, our document date, I'm just going to leave that blank, we'll say it's today, and then the order ID that this one goes with, and I'm just making this up, but it's 102899 that I'm typing in for order ID, and I hit Tab, and then as you can see, the rest of this information has filled in. Well, that's because Visual Archive looked into Visual Shop, found this order ID, and filled in the rest of the information for us. Now, this particular chart applies to a few different order IDs, so I'm not limited to just one. I can actually right-click and say Add Row, and now I can add another order ID, 10300, and I hit Tab, and it finds that one. And in fact, let's add 2 more rows, 103001. And you can actually have as many different index values as you need. So you're not limited to just one index value. So I'm going to press File here, and it's going to file this and index it with all these values that we just put in right here. Now let's take a look and see if we can find those documents. I'm going to hit Close, and I'm going to go to Tools and Document Search, and I'm just going to press Search here, and that should pull up our newest documents that we just put in. And yeah, here we see our chart is on the top, and if you notice, it's actually taking up 4 different lines. That's because, if you remember correctly, we attached 4 different order IDs to that one. So it's actually the same document ID. It's just showing up in the list 4 times because we attached it to 4 different orders. So the document itself is not sitting in here 4 times. It's just the fact that it's indexed to 4 different order IDs that is showing up in the list 4 times. So now I can double click it, and it's going to open up our PDF file right here, and here's our chart. And I will close that. And now we'll open the purchase order that we found, but it's not in the list right now, and that's because, if you remember, we assigned it a date of 2007, which is 2 years prior to what we're seeing on the list, and I'm actually looking at document date from 5/4/2009 to 6/3/2009. What I need to do is either change those dates or else change this document date drop-down box to date filed, and let me press search again, and this time I see the purchase order does show up in the list because now I'm entering by date filed rather than document date. So here we can see our document date is 4/5/2007, but the date filed is 6/3/2009. I'm going to double click that. And then here we have our purchase order that we scanned in. So that is how you manually add documents to the Visual Archive database.